and we have Power BI is one of the data visualization tool. If you see the list, so whatever the screen I am presenting right now, so this screen, it contains a collection of tools, collection of data visualization tools, whereas Power BI, ClickView, Tableau, Spotfire, and SAP Lumira. So all these are the data visualization tools. So the rest of the tools are belongs to the reporting tools. They are traditional reporting tools. So the difference between traditional reporting tools and this data visualization is, like, a traditional reporting tools is especially for the paginated reports, but the data visualization tools, it has a rich data visuals where the data can be represented in terms of graphical representation, so that the data can be delivered to the users in terms of graphic representation. So that's where data visualization come to the picture. And the data visualization, so it allows the users to connect with any kind of data source. So we have a different kinds of data sources, whereas on premises data source and online data source, on premises database, online database, and online data services. So these are the typical data sources where the user would want to connect with different heterogeneous data source systems. So on premises data sources is nothing but, let's say, if you are trying to connect with if you are trying to connect with any additional data source systems like Excel, CSV, or XML. Let's say Excel, CSV files, and XML are stored in your laptop or in your physical system, and you are trying to access them from the system. So where it can be called as a on-premises data sources. In the similarly, the same Excel or CSV or XML are stored in the cloud, either Google Analytics or in your OneDrive, and you are trying to access those files from the OneDrive. So those can be called as an online data source. And on premises data base is nothing but, so any if you are trying to connect with any databases which are stored physically stored in your system, either Oracle or PostgreSQL or SQL Server, SAP HANA, SAP BW. So all these are the various heterogeneous databases stored in your system, and you are trying to connect with those systems. So those we can call it as on-premises databases. And if you are trying to connect with online database systems, let's say we have a Microsoft Azure, Google HD Insights, Microsoft HD Insights, and Microsoft Azure, and also we have Microsoft Synopsys. So there are plenty of Microsoft online databases, and also has some services. And if you are trying to connect with those services or databases, those it can be called as an online database. And if you are trying to connect with any additional sources or services from the cloud, so those can be called as the online data services. Let's say, for an example, if you would want to connect with the Facebook, or if you would want to connect with the Salesforce data, or Google Cloud, or Adobe Analytics, or Google Analytics, so those data services can be available to connect with the online data sources. And these are the traditional reporting tools, as I told: SSRS, SSAS, SAP BO, and Microsoft SSAS, and also MicroStrategy, Pentaho. So all these are the various traditional reporting tools which can be used for the traditional data purpose. And if we go ahead with the reporting tools, here out of that we have a various data visualization tools. So Power BI is one of them. And what exactly the Power BI? So a Power BI is a collection of softwares and services. It allows the user to connect with any kind of data source and to bring the data into your Power BI system and do the data modeling and apply different sort of transformations. So whereas data conversion, data sorting, data scrubbing, data merging, so data concatenation, so all these are the various data operations which you would perform on the data. So once the data is ready, then you can start building your reports on top of your data and publish your reports to the Power BI service. which can be called as a Microsoft Power BI. So mostly the Power BI is not only allow only the few data sources, it allow any kind of data source irrespective of the data source. Either your data source is an on-premises data source, or your data source is an online data source, or your data source is an on-premises databases or online databases or on online data services, if anything. So the data can be anything. So the Power BI allows you to connect with any kind of source system, and you could try to build your reports. On top of that, you can do the interactive insights in the nothing but, so whatever the data, you can prepare the reports. Out of that, you can create some insights. Those are some questions, queries and answers. So you can ask the question to the Power BI, so it will answer you back to the system. So it is called as a natural language processing, so which can be provide the more data insights from the report. And here if you see what exactly the parts of Power BI. So there are different parts of the Power BI. So already we discussed all this workflow of the Power BI desktop. So from this diagram, we have three parts of Power BI. So one is the Power BI desktop, Power BI service, and then Power BI mobile version. So Power BI Desktop is a client version tool. It is a Windows application of the desktop tool, where it allows you to connect with any kind of source system, irrespective of any kind of source system. And it will pull the data into your source system, and it applies transformations and load the data into the Power BI reporting model. So as soon as your model is ready, you can start building your reports. Once your reports is completed, then publish your reports into a Power BI service. That is the second step. So the first one is a Power BI desktop, the second one is a Power BI service, the third one is a Power BI mobile. So the Power BI mobile, it has the additional facility where the different sort of users can able to log on with the mobile, and they can preview the reports. So what sort of the reports are available in the system? Let's say there are different types of users. In the mobile users, let's say Windows mobile users and Android users and iPhone users or iPod users. So these are the various set of users can able to connect with the mobile version, and they can able to download the reports, and they can able to view the reports by connecting with the Power BI credentials. So this is how the flow of the Power BI. So the initial version is Power BI desktop, then Power BI service, then Power BI mobile. This is the flow of the Power BI, and these are the parts of the Power BI. So the Power BI desktop allows you to connect with any kind of source system, that is the Power Query. And after that, it allows you to do the data modeling, whereas it is called as a Power Pivot, and it allows you to do the Power View. So Power View, it allows you to do the data visualization. So the Power BI, it has a rich set of data visualization tools, where it allows you to do the reporting purpose. And then Power Map is a, it has a rich set of Power Map. There is a some filled map and Google Map. So there are some separate data visuals which will allow you to represent your data in terms of graphical representation through the maps. So that can be called as a Power Map. So once if you go through all these four steps, then Power BI desktop will cover. The first step will cover. So Power BI desktop is a four steps component. One is a Power Query, Power Pivot, Power View, and then Power Map. And these are the parts of the Power BI. So if you see that Power BI desktop, as I told you, the Power BI desktop is the first step, and the Power BI service is the second step. Power BI mobile is the third flow of the system, and the rest of the things are Power BI embedded, Power BI report server, and then Power BI premium. So Power BI embedded is like, so as soon as your report is ready, so you can embed your report into a third party applications, which is called as a web applications or SharePoint applications. For an example, so your report is ready, and you would want to see, or you would want to embed your report into third party application with IRCTC for an example. So what you would do is, so you generate the embedded URL and you can paste that URL into the IRCTC website, the backend coding part. So you can embed that URL into the IRCTC application, or not only to the IRCTC. For an example, I am telling IRCTC. IRCTC is like a web application, or Abibus, it's a web application. So for an example, it's in a web application, not only to the specific your web applications. So it is in a web application. So if any report can be embedded with a web application, that can be called as a Power BI embedded. Also, Power BI embedded, it requires a lot of coding knowledge. So but normally what we can do is, we have a different set of roles. Yesterday I was telling, we have a different set of roles. So one is a Power BI report designer, and then Power BI report developer, Power BI report consumer, and then Power BI report admin. So there are four different set of roles. So out of roles, you can choose what role you belongs to. So if you are a designer, I mean, I would want to design the report, I would want to deploy the report into the Power BI service, I want to make them the reports available to the consumers, so that you can preferable as a Power BI report designer. So you are belongs to the Power BI report designer, and you know the responsibilities of what Power BI report designer does. So you could see all these are the roles and responsibilities belongs to the report designer. The similar way, Power BI report developer, the Power BI report developer can embed the application, can embed the reports to the Power BI reports embedded into the web applications. So that's where Power BI developer come to the picture. And the Power BI developer can create a custom visualizations. Custom visualizations in the sense, let's say we have yesterday we have seen there are some sort of data visualizations. So those data visuals or inbuilt data visuals in the Power BI. And if the user would want to consume the additional custom visuals, those custom visuals can be created by the Power BI developer. So the Power BI developer has the capability to build a custom visuals, as well as he has the capability to design the report. After design the reports, he can embed the reports to the web applications. That is the roles and responsibility of Power BI developer. And the Power BI report consumer is an end user. So Power BI, you are the Power BI report designer. So your responsibility is to create the reports, deploy the reports, and make the reports available to the report consumer. That is your responsibility. And the Power BI report developer responsibility is to create a custom visuals, or to embed the applications to the web applications through the reports. And that is the responsibility of Power BI report developer. And Power BI report consumer is a end user. Where he can avail all the reports and he can analyze the report data. Finally he can make decisions out of it. He is the one of the report consumer, and he is responsibility to analyze the data based on the reports. So he is a business analyst. So he will not design any reports, and he will not develop any reports, and he will not publish any reports. Only his responsibility is to uh, view the data from the designed reports, and he can make a decisions out of it. So his responsibility is like that. And the final one is a Power BI admin. The Power BI admin responsibility is to provide the access, and provide grants the access to the list of users, and he can monitoring the reports. And there is a gateway, there is a concept of gateway, and he will be monitoring all the gateway activities, and he will be monitoring all report activities. So that responsibility would be taken by the Power BI report admin. So these are the various levels. One is the Power BI report designer, and then report developer, a report consumer, and the final one is the report admin. And as soon as, so once if I give all these roles and responsibility of each level, so that you can think yourself as a report designer and you are the part of the report designer. So right now report designer activities would be, so as part of report designer you would be connecting with the various data from the different set of source connections and pull the data and apply the data model and do the data visualizations or do the data exploration and then load the data into the Power BI and publish the data into the Power BI service and share the data among the users. That is the roles and responsibility of the Power BI report designer. And mostly whoever learns the Power BI and their responsibility would be the report designer, and the report developer would be, so the report developer has an additional capability where he would need to do the coding and he would need to perform the additional activities. And the report consumer is nothing, a report consumer is part of the report designer. So as soon as you develop the reports and you can share the reports to the report consumer, and the report consumer will avail the reports for the analysis purpose and he can make the decisions out of it. And the report admin is the one who can grant the access and who can monitor all the activities among the reports. And let me go to that parts of the Power BI. This is the parts of Power BI. And yesterday I was telling that Excel and then Power BI both are together, both are similar activities. Excel has the similar capabilities, and whereas Excel Power BI has been derived from the Excel. Yesterday I was showing one example where we can pull the data from the Excel, and you could apply all sort of transformations and you could create reporting from the Excel itself. And whatever the operations you could perform in the Excel, same set of operations you could perform in the Power BI itself. So there is no difference between Excel and Power BI, both together are same. But Excel is only for ad hoc analysis purpose and Power BI is for the standard reporting purpose. And you cannot share this Excel to the users to consume the data for their analysis, because Excel is a ad hoc purpose. Only end of the day, the Excel, the users can able to present the data in terms of graphical representation that can be delivered through the Power BI, that cannot be delivered through the Excel. Excel is only for the individual ad hoc analysis purpose. Let's say you have some kind of analysis you would want to perform. So you can perform that kind of analysis through the Excel, but it cannot be delivered the reports to the users, end users. Only the Excel is only for the ad hoc purpose. So yesterday I was telling one example. So quickly let me go to that example and then show that example. Let me open the Excel. So you can take the new workbook. So as soon as you open the Excel, go to file and go to options, and here go to add-ins. If we go to add-ins, go and here you could see there are different sort of 1 second, options, add-ins, click on com add-ins and then go. And here you could see different set of add-ons. So Microsoft Power Map, Power Pivot, Power View, and then Power Query. So there are four different set of add-ons. So I was telling these are the ones. So Power Query, Power Pivot, Power View, and Power Map. So this Power Query, Power Pivot, Power View, and Power Map, these are the Excel add-ins. So once if you install the Excel 2013 version or Excel 2016 version, so all these add-ons will come automatically. So if you are using Excel 2010, so then you need to download these add-ons explicitly from the download versions and you need to install it. If you are using Excel 2016 version, you don't need to download anything. So it will be inbuilt capabilities. It will come automatically along with your Excel. So what my task is, I would want to pull the data from the web system. So now if we go to data, as soon as if we go to data, get data, so under get data, so as I was telling, there are five different data sources, right? So one is on premises data sources, where you could connect with on premises data sources, and you could get the data from Excel, CSV or XML file, right? So this is how you could get the data. If you go to get data from file, and here you could see from text or from XML or from JSON or from PDF, from folder or SharePoint. Nothing bad. These are the on-premises data source files where you could get the data from data sources. Hello.
Yeah, yes, sir.
So you can able to listen, right?
Yes, right.
Let me add. I think someone has dropped the call. Let me add the call. So what I was telling is, these are the five different sources where you could able to connect with the data source system. So one is the on-premises data sources, where you could connect with the Excel, CSV, and then XML. And online data sources, the same set of files which are present in the online, let's say in your OneDrive system, these can be called it as an online data source. And if you are trying to connect with any kind of databases which is present in your system, which is called as on-premises database. And if you are trying to connect with online databases like Microsoft Azure, Azure HD Insight or AWS system, so these can be called as online databases. And if you are trying to connect with any kind of online data services, which is a Facebook, Salesforce or Google Analytics or Adobe Analytics, so those we can call it as online data services. And these are very very important. These are the basics. So once if you are most comfortable with these terminologies, the going forward will be using only these data connections.
We are unable
And
to see your screen, Ashok.
yep.
We are unable to see that notepad screen.
Oh, is it? Let me share my screen quickly. Yep, I shared back.
Yeah, now it's okay.
uh, let's say if you are once if you are comfortable having these terminologies, and going forward will be connecting with these data source systems. And as I was telling, data discovery is equals to the Power Query. So data discovery is in the Power BI, and which is equal to the Power Query in the Excel. Power Query in the Excel. And data analysis is equal to the Power Pivot in the Excel. So these are the terminologies in the Power BI. A data discovery, in the sense, it allows you to connect with any kind of source system, which is equals to the Power Query. And data analysis, it allows you to do the data modeling and apply all sort of transformation and shape your data to the business information. That is called as a Power Pivot. So data visualization, which is equals to the Power View in the Excel. data exploration, which is equal to power map in the Excel. So as soon as if you complete all these 4 steps, then you have completed the Power BI desktop. Power Query, Power Pivot, Power View, and then Power Map. So we have the Excel terminology of Power Query. So in the same kind of terminology, we could use in the Power BI itself. So let me go to the Excel first. So what I'm trying to do is I will take one example, and I will get the data from the web page, and I'll load the data into the Excel. So there is a European Football Championship, and I'll copy that European Football Championship, and URL I have copied, and go to the Excel. And Excel allow you to bring the data from any kind of source system. So now I would want to connect with a web data. So go to from web, and whatever the copied URL you paste here. So as soon as you copied the URL, it will bring the data from the web page. And whatever the web page, it contains all the list of tables. Those list of tables it would present here. And out of the list of pages, I would want to analyze the data from the results edit. So take the results edit, and take the data and go to transform data. So if any data, so whatever the data, if you load the data, so don't load directly. First go to transform data, and then apply whatever the steps request. You can apply those steps. So I would want to apply these steps. One is a column, and then so I would want to keep only the column 1 and column 2. So the rest of the columns I don't need. The rest of the columns I don't need. So I need only the first 2 columns. So that select first 2 columns, and then right click, and then remove other columns. So whatever the step you could perform here, those steps can be recorded under the applied steps here. So source, navigation, change tab. So whatever the steps I could perform here, now I'm going to remove all other columns except these 2 columns. Now that step is recorded here. And the next step is I would want to promote the header names to the first record. Year and host is a header name. So column 1 and column 2 is not having a proper name. So I would want to keep year and host to the header names. So here there is a use first row as a header. Click on that. As soon as you click on that, your year and host will be your header names, and this is your data. So now I would want to rename the name as country name. Actually this is the country name. Let's keep as a country name. And this is the second step. And go to your year. I don't want to keep this year as under parts of years, because 1960, 1964, all this is the data. And this year here it is showing as a year, so I don't want to keep that year. So let's go to your data, and then you can uncheck the data and make it okay. So year will go off. So whatever the steps you perform, all the steps will be recorded here under the applied steps. And this is the table name. I wanted to keep this table name as European Championship. So now I will tell you what is the requirement now. So the requirement is, so every once in a 4 years, the European country, they will conduct the European Football Championship. So European Football Championship for every 4 years, let's say. So I would want to analyze which country has won the football championship, and how many times they won the football championship in their history. So now you could see France has won the football championship in 1960, and Spain won the football championship in 1964, and Italy won the football championship in 1968. So this is the data how I would want to analyze the data. So now my data is ready, and I have done. And after done all the steps, close and apply. Go to close and apply, click on the close and load. As soon as if you click on close and load, so your data would be present here. So now select your all data, and go to data, and insert, click on pivot table. If we click on pivot table, it allows you to do the data analysis. Now what I would want to do is bring country into the columns and bring country of count of country into the values. I would want to bring country into the rows. So now you could see France won the football championship 3 times. France won the football championship 3 times. And then out of that, you could see Germany won the football championship 1 time, and Italy won the football championship 3 times. So like this, I would want to analyze the data. How many times which country won the football championship higher? In the similar way, I could analyze the data like this. And now I would want to analyze this data in terms of graphical representation. So now go to so whatever I was telling, the first step I have done, this is called as a power query. So what we have done in the power query, we got the data and we have analyzed the data. We got data from the web portal and we loaded the data into the Excel. That is the first step. The second step what we have done is, so we brought the data from the web and then we narrated the data into the power pivot, so by analysis. So this is how we are going to perform the analysis. And in the third step, I would want to represent this data in the graphical representation. Go to insert. Here we have list of visuals. So out of list of visuals, I would want to present the data in terms of graphical representation. So if you see, this is the graphical representation. So now you could keep the cursor on the bars. This is called as a column chart. In the column chart, if I keep my cursor on the column chart, if you see, Italy won the football championship 3 times and France won a football championship 3 times. The same data, whatever the data presented in the table, pivot table, the same data I have represented in the graph. So this is called as the data visualization. So how you are going to present your data in terms of graphics, in terms of graphical representation, which is called as a data visuals. So these data visuals can be created by using Power BI. So Power BI is a data visualization tool, and where it allows to connect with any kind of source system. It is not only web connector. It allows you to connect with any kind of source system. So it may be on-premises data source, it may be on online data source, or on-premises database, or online database, or online data services. And it allows you to bring the data into your Power BI and do the data modeling and apply all sort of transformations and start building your data visuals, and then you can publish your report into your Power BI service. That is called as a Power BI. And now we are in the Excel. In the Excel, we are in the third step, which is called as a Power View. This is called as a Power View. In the Power View, we got all our data visuals and we represent our data in terms of graphical representation. So this is the column chart. In the similar way, you can present your data into some other visuals. Select this and then go here, and I would want to present into the donut chart. Let's keep into the donut chart. So in the donut chart, if you go here, so the donut chart, the complete circle, so whatever the circle, it represents 100%. Out of 100%, the highest occupied space would be France. The France occupied space is 17%, because France won 3 times football championship and Italy won 3 times football championship. So like this, the whole circle represent 100%. Out of 100%, 17% is occupied by the France, and the another 17% occupied by the Italy. The rest of the individual percentage allocated by the each individual country. So this is how we could represent the data in terms of graphics. So once you know that, as I told you, this Excel has four add-on capabilities. One is the Power Query, Power Pivot, Power View, and then Power Map. So the Power Query already we have seen how you are going to bring the data into your system. That is called as a Power Query, and do all your data transformations as part of Power Query, and do the data modeling is Power Pivot, and do the data visualizations is called as Power View. Power Map is, this is the Power Map. As soon as your data is ready, so you can take some Google Maps and fill it maps, and then you can apply you can represent your data in terms of graphical representation through maps. So that is called as a Power Map. So now we have seen Power Query, Power Pivot, Power View, and then Power Map. So all four options are available in your Excel. The similar kind of options are available in the Power BI as well. So now I have created this report in the Excel, right? The similar report I'm going to publish, the similar report I'm going to create in the Power BI as well. Go here and then open the Power BI. So before going to the Power BI, so I will tell you how you are going to download the Power BI. So here I was telling, right, Excel and Power BI both are powerful together. So this is how it is a powerful. First step in the Power Query, you are going to get the data, and in the Power Pivot you are analyzing the data, and here you are going to visualize the data and share the data to the users, and finally the report consumers consume the data from the Power BI. So these are the four steps which are involved in the Excel, the same four steps which will be involved in the Power BI as well. And here if you see, get the data, visualize the data, and questions and answer, and monitor the reports. These are the different unique strengths of the Power BI. So I will tell you what exactly the questions and answer and how you are going to monitor that going forward. I'll in the next coming classes I will tell you these features. So now we'll see how you are going to publish your report, how you are going to download your Power BI desktop. So yesterday I was telling, right, just you go to that Power BI, Google, you go to the Google, and then click on Power BI desktop download. Power BI desktop download. As soon as if you click on the Power BI desktop download, so it allows you to download the Power BI desktop. So if you go here, it allows you to download the Power BI desktop. This is the Power BI desktop download. So this will take you to the Microsoft Store. As soon as if you go to the Microsoft Store, so you can download the report from the Power BI desktop. So once if you get it, this Power BI desktop can be downloaded in your system. So before going to download the Power BI desktop, so there are a few prerequisites that you would need to perform. So the first step is, here you could see, before going to download the Power BI desktop in your system, so make sure you would be having either Windows 7 OS, Windows 7 operating system, or Windows 8 or latter version would be fine. And you should be having a .NET 4.5 framework. So earlier you would need to download and install the .NET 4.5 framework. Now it is not required. So now along with the Power BI desktop, so the .NET framework will come along with the Power BI desktop. You don't need to download. And then so at least you would need the memory. So the memory, at least you would need 1 GB memory or 1.5 GB memory is recommended. And these are the prerequisites before going to download the Power BI desktop. So as soon as you download the Power BI desktop, then you could install your desktop and then start designing your reports. So go to the Power BI design here. So under this you could see a Power BI desktop. Click on the Power BI desktop. So close this initial home page, And here you could see the similar kind of options. So whatever the options you have seen in the Excel, the same kind of action options you can see in the Power BI as well. So go to get data and go to web connection, and here you could see the URL. Paste the URL. Let's make it okay. So as soon as if it connects to the web connector, it allows you to bring the data into the web page. So now I wanted to analyze the data from the results page. So select the data from the results page and go to the transform data. So now I would want to see the data only for year and then host. The rest of the columns I would not need it. Then remove all other columns. Remove all other columns. Here also you could see whatever the step you perform, the same step would be recorded here under the applied steps. So rename this as European Football Championship. European Football Championship. So now I don't want these nulls to be presented in the data. So go here and remove the nulls. Let's make it okay. And I would want to rename the data as a country. Let's make the name as a country. So now my data is ready. So as soon as your data is ready, and then you can make it okay, close and apply. So as soon as your data is ready, on your right hand side, you could see that the loaded fields, country, and then here you could see under this particular table. So as soon as your data is ready, then take these are the data visuals on your. So the first thing, as soon as you open the Power BI, the left hand side there are three options. One is a data view, one is a report view, data view, and then model view. So if you click on the report view, and here is the report pane where you can design your report by using these set of report visuals. These are the set of report visuals. And the second one is the data view. In the data view, so whatever the data you loaded, that data can be presented here. So if you want to see the data here, you can see the data here. In the model view, so how your data is going to present here. So this is the model view. In the model view, you can see all the tables and all the relationship, and how the relationships are going to establish among the multiple tables. So that can be viewed from this particular model view. So you remember these are the three views. One is the report view. The report view has the report pane where you can design your reports by using the data visuals, and data view has the only the data. So where you can see the data and you can apply some sort of new custom column that you can apply. And the third one which is called as a third one which is called as model view. In this model view you can see how in the table representation, how your table would be and what are the fields it would be and how the relationship would be. So here as of now we have only one table so that we don't see the relationship among the tables. So once if you have multiple tables, then you can see how the relationship among the multiple tables that you could see here. So in the coming examples, we'll bring the data from multiple tables and you can see how the relationship is going to establish. Is it one-to-one relationship or one-to-many relationship or many-to-one relationship or many-to-many relationship? So those are the cardinalities how you are going to activate the relationship among the tables. And this is the European Football Championship you could see. So and go to the report view and take the data visuals, and here I'm going to take the matrix table and bring your data here. I'm going to bring my country as columns, or you can keep the country as the rows, not the column. Countries as the rows and count of countries as the columns, values. So remember that every time you would need to keep remember that every time you have to keep the value as as a value. So either count of value or sum of value you should keep under the values, and the access things you could keep under the rows or columns. Access thing in the sense, so as I was telling, right, there are dimension, there would be dimension attributes and key measures. So whatever the measures, those measures you can keep under the value section, and whatever the dimension attributes you can keep under the dimension attribute section, which are in the either rows or axis or columns. So I will take you the session in the next session. So I will tell you what is the dimension, what are the dimension attributes, and what is the fact table, and what are the fact attribute fact key measures, and how the dimension table related with the fact table, and what is the relationship, and how what are the different types of dimension tables, and what are the different types of fact measures. That I will take you to the another session. Here I have the document, the data warehouse. So in the next section I'm going to cover the data warehouse concept. Here I have all the data warehouse concept. Once if we complete this data warehouse concept, then we'll go to the real examples. So now you could see this is the data, and now you could start picking the visual from here. Now I would want to take some column chart, take the column chart and put this column chart here. Control, keep the control and then move this visual into somewhere else. And now I have built here, and take the country here, and put the country in the axis, and take the country count of country into the value section. So now you could see, uh, here you could see France won the football championship 3 times, and Italy won the football championship 2 times, and the rest of the countries won the football championship 1 time. This is how you could represent your data in terms of graphics. In the similar way, in the Excel, I took the donut chart, right? Here also you can take the donut chart in the Power BI. So take the donut chart and maximize the donut chart, and take the country as a axis in the detail section, and the count of country as a value section. So now you can see that report. The whole circle represents 100 percentage. Out of that, 17% is occupied by the France, and 11% occupied by the Italy. So like this you could see the data. So as soon as your report is ready, you can go and then publish your report into the Power BI service. So now I have done with this report. This is called as here a report is contains in the Power BI. Power BI report, it contains a collection of pages. I mean, you can create n number of pages. So now I have created one page, right? This page you can give as data visual. So you can give, or else you can give football championship, football championship. So the first page. In the second page, you can create n number of pages. There is no limitation. You can create a number of pages. So a report is a report. It contains n number of pages, and each page it contains a collection of visuals, and visuals it represents the data in terms of graphical representation. So now in the second page, so I'm going to show some maps. So let's say here there is a map, Google map is there. Take the Google map. So I'm going to take the map and put the country as a location. As soon as if you put the country as location, then it recognizes the data, and it pop up the data in terms of bubbles. So now you can see the data. So these are the bubbles. I would want to increase the bubble size. So let's go to this is the first one is the field. First one, it has the field. The second one has a properties pane. Go to properties and go to bubble session and increase the bubble size so that it will be visible, more visible. So come back to here, and if you keep your cursor on your bubbles, it will show the which country it has it. So here whatever the countries it has, let's say here we have 10 countries: Australia, Switzerland, Belgium, Netherlands, England. So all these are the various countries, right? So all the countries will be detected here. And now what I have to do is, so take the count of country into that visual, take the count of country into the size. So there is a size, go here, there is a size, take the count of country under size. Now you could see France own the football championship 3 times. That's where you could see the bubble size is increased. France is 3 times won the football championship, and Italy won 2 time football championship. In the similar way, Germany won 1 time football championship. As soon as you keep your data here, the data can be represented here. And now you can go here. Here, if you see on top of that, there is a focus mode. If you go to focus mode, uh, here you could see the focus mode. So these are the list of data values. And France won a 3 time football championship, and Italy won 2 time football championship. Like this, you could see. So am I clear till now?
Yes, Ashraf.
Yep. So as soon as your data is ready, and then you can publish the data into the Power BI service, which is a second step. So if we go here, so let me go here, and here if you see, so now in this is the architecture of the Power BI desktop. If you see the architecture, so the first step would be the Power BI desktop. The Power BI desktop, what we have done is, we have connected with the web connector, and we have loaded the data, and we have applied the data transformation, and we did the data cleansing. Data cleansing in the sense removing all the duplicates and make sure we have the unique data. And then we did the data modeling. And in the data modeling, we don't have multiple tables, so there we don't see the relationships. So once if we get multiple tables, then we can see the relationships among the tables. So and then the data visualization. So this is how the Power BI desktop. So now we have done the reporting in the Power BI desktop. The second step would be the publish your content into the Power BI service, which is in the second step. So now what I'm going to do is, so let me open the Power BI desktop. So this is your Power BI desktop. Go here and publish the data. So to publish the data, you should be having access to this to publish the data. You should be access with that Power BI service account. So the Power BI service, we have two accounts. One is the Power BI free version and Power BI Pro version. And Power BI free version, there is a 60 days of trial version. 60 days of trial version will be there. So as soon as your 60 days trial version completed, so you need to upgrade to the Power BI Pro version, which is a chargeable. So monthly you have to pay $9. So once you pay $9, so that you can make use of Power BI Pro version. So and if you are not willing to pay the $9, so that you can make use of 60-day trial version, which is absolutely free for 60 days. So after 60 days, and you would want to practice these reports in the Power BI service, so you can activate one more free account, and then you can make use of it. So that as soon as your Power BI Pro version trial end up, then you can activate one more account, and then you can make use of it. Till then, so you can create multiple accounts, and then you can practice do the practice for multiple months. So I will tell you how you can create the account, or I will create account on half of you, so that I will create each one of you, I will create an account and I will give it to you. So as soon as you design the report, you need to publish the reports. How you can publish the report? So now I have connected with this account here, deepti@axa123 on microsoft.com. This is the one of the account. I have created. In the similar way, I will create a multiple account so that you can try to log on with that particular account and publish your content into your account. So now I have connected with this particular account. So then go and then publish it. So here I told you, right, my workspace, and then there is a workspace. Then I will tell you what is the my workspace, what is the app workspace. So right now I'm going to publish into the my workspace. Click on my workspace, publish the report under the my workspace. So as soon as if you publish the report to the my workspace, now the report has been published. Then click on this football championship. So now it will open into the Power BI service level. So click on here. Sorry, I, I had taken the wrong account. Click on last one. So you would need to give password. So now you could see the football championship right here. So this is the one. So if we go to the first one, football championship. So whatever the visuals I have created, all the visuals you could see in the Power Based service level. So here you could see the trial version. So trial version initially it will come 60 days. So now it is showing 47 days. So already some 13 days completed the trial version. So it is only available till 60 days. Once the trial is completed, then you would need to upgrade to the Power BI Pro version, where it is chargeable for the $9 for each month. $9.9, I think, around $10. Is it clear? So
Yes.
today I'm going to stop the session till now, and tomorrow I will take some other examples, and then I'll take you to the insight, more insights of reporting.
Okay, sure.
And Kishore, have any questions? Kishore and then Raju,
No,
Naidu,
no,
Ramay.
no, Ashok, all clear.
Yep. So what we can do is tomorrow what I will do is I will try to cover some other examples. Maybe after 2 to 3 days, we'll create an account, Power Based service account, so that you can start building your reports and you can publish your reports to the Power Based service. So once if we start creating your reports, right, then you will come to know different sort of questions and different sort of clarifications, so that I'll be available to clarify them. Yeah, thank you everyone. Thanks for your time. Thanks for joining.
Yeah. Thank you, Ashok.
Thank you.